Hey guys, here we are again, talking live, getting the comments, and it's checking it out. So here I go again. Hey guys, this is a great day. I was free. I was cold a little bit. I'm in Arizona, I know, but it was cold. I think yesterday got to about 50, and it was 34 at night. And that, I mean, it sounds weird being in Arizona, being cold, but it is winter here too. Up in Flagstaff, I have a friend of mine's up there, and it's snowing like crazy. They're skiing, and so I hope all you guys are doing good. I hope you're relaxing and checking it out. I'll start checking out the questions now. All right, Anna, shoot. I hate to say the word shoot, but God.
Hi, Sammy. Okay, so we have Jared Beneducci. Sammy, do you remember Jersey karting, and do you ever do work with them? Did you ever do work with them?
I don't think I did any work with them. I think I heard the name. Um, uh, we had the association. I know Joey Cigars had a garbage company, karting, and but I never really got involved in it because Jimmy Brown was handling it. Joey Francolino, who was Joey Cigars, was handling it. So I really never got involved. I knew we had it, but I wasn't involved.
Nice. Thank you, Sammy. How's your Monday going?
My Monday's going great. I mean, we had a good week. I know there's not a lot of content out there. We're working on content. We're working on doing things. We're rebuilding our website. We have an appointment, I believe it's on Wednesday, with a pretty big company who's building the new website. And we're modernizing everything. So we had a busy week. I had a bunch of calls this weekend, and we're moving forward on everything.
Speaking of brand new content, Saxon75 is asking, I would love to see a sit down with you and Phil Leonetti. That would be awesome.
Well, you're in luck, and I'm happy to hear that question because I've talked with Phil this past week, and we're about to sit down sometime in February, and we're going to have a sit down with me, him, and one of his lawyer friends. He's a good guy. This guy, I don't remember his name. That's how good he is. I forgot his name. But he is a good guy. And we're going to sit down, and we'll probably show that on the new, table in the back. We have a bunch of them lined up. We're starting in March. I have a sit down with Michael Franchise, Phil Leonetti, Alec Baldwin, a whole bunch of different sit downs I have. And every week there'll be a new sit down that we'll put out. Some of them are already made. They're in the can, so to speak. And as soon as March comes around, we'll be popping them out.
That sounds really exciting.
It is
Holy
exciting.
mackerel.
It is great.
Wow. Big things, boss. Super chat from Aussie Wolfhound. Did the mob ever have anything to do with biker clubs?
We did. Up in Canada, they were hooked up with biker clubs, but New York, not so much. But there was, I believe it was the Hells Angels and stuff like that. They had a place in the city. So there was some people who knew them. They weren't that involved with us, but we had associations with them, sometimes meetings with them, but nothing big, nothing really to talk about.
Nice. Thank you. Sammy, you got a huge super chat from Escape to Paradise. Huge. Escape to Paradise is asking, great podcast, and I love listening. Wondering if you knew my Uncle Nick the Blade Gusel. He was the Pittsburgh connection in Goodfellas, allegedly. Did 35 years flat. Recently, he passed away in Florida a few years ago. Anyways, love for the show.
Didn't have many dealings with him, but I know the name. I know of him. I'm trying to, as we speak, I'm trying to think of what he looks like. But I know that he was part of the Philadelphia mob. Tough guy, good guy. I had friends of mine who were in the Jersey faction and knew him and spoke very highly of him. I didn't have much contact with him at all, but he's a great guy.
Awesome. Thank you, Escape to Paradise. That was very generous. Another super chat, Sammy. Patrick. Hey, Sammy, did you know Frank Callie?
No, I didn't know Frank Callie. When I went away in '90, he was a lot younger than me. He was up and coming, a good guy. He had connections in Italy, family in Italy, Sicily, and he was killed one day in Staten Island. I was informed right away, and it was a kid, a real wacko kid who was on drugs or something. It was an argument about something. I don't even know what it was, and they shook hands. And as he turned around to walk away, the guy shot him several times and killed him. It wasn't a mob thing. It was just some of these insane acts that go on. There's guys who go into schools and kill people, or neighbors shooting people. This was like one of those deals. It just had nothing to do with the mafia. I know the guy got arrested. I don't know if he went on trial yet, or maybe he was insane. Who knows? But for everybody who knew Frank Callie, said he was just a great guy, good-hearted guy. He became the boss, and things happen. Shit happens, bro.
Shit does happen. But we go on, right, Sammy? Motivation Monday.
We have to go on. You name it, everything or anything that happens. Motivation Monday, you get up, you start your week, you put things behind you, and you just got to keep going. Not only for yourself, for your family, for your friends, for everybody who loves you. So it's a must. That's what you got to do.
Thank you, Sammy. Stephen Walsh is asking, hi, Sammy, how much did you deal with the Irish mob?
Well, we dealt with, especially the Gambino family, dealt with the Irish mob quite a bit, the Westies. I still have some friends who weren't with them. They left them, good friends of mine. And we had a lot of interaction with them. They sat down with Paul Castellano, went one time, and were officially, brought into the, not made, but brought into the Gambino family. It was in Tommaso's restaurant in Bensonhurst, Brooklyn, and on 86th Street. And it was a pretty big meeting. So, yes, we had Jimmy Coonans, and Bosco took over, and Bosco became very close to me. Bosco's one of the guys who helped me set up John Gotti's trial when we got to the jurors. Bosco was very important. The foreman of the jury was a friend of his. There's a lot of history about it. I gave him $60,000, $20,000 right away, $20,000 in the middle of the trial, $20,000 at the end of the trial. I got him a job in the Teamsters and told him that if he backed up at any point and John got found guilty, that I would kill him. But he never backed up. He stood up. The guy, when I cooperated, he got pinched. He only got sentenced to a 3-year sentence, which was good. I did testify against him, but I gave a recommendation to the government and to the judge. I mean, I wasn't in any position. I was just a witness, but I said it's a legitimate guy. We got to him, and the pressure, and the guy was broke, and so they gave him a slap on the wrist.
Nice. Thank you. That's insane. That's awesome. Samantha McCall in your chat just has a comment for you and wants to let you know that you make the world better, Sammy.
I so appreciate that. I changed my life, and I'm obsessed with doing the right thing and changing the lives of other people, young people around me. I don't look down on people. I don't scold people. I just give them advice of what it's like when you get involved, what prison is like, and these things are going to happen to you. So, and I get a lot of messages on my Facebook, a huge amount of people women who getting a divorce or men, different problems. And, through the years, you develop wisdom. I've heard so many things, and I'm just able to give good advice to so many different people. And I'm glad I'm able to do that and continue doing that. And I get all kinds of, letters and all kinds of things from people, and it really makes me feel good. So I've lived a dual life, I think most of my life. As a gangster, I was a tough gangster. But as a legitimate person, I was a good person. I love people. I'm a people's person. And I try to reflect that every day in my life. I don't lie. I don't bullshit. I tell the truth. I don't try to, minimize the things I did. But I did it for the love and the respect of Cosa Nostra. I continue to love Cosa Nostra and some of the things, when you go backwards, especially people who got a divorce. You can get a divorce and break away, but sometimes you remember the good days with your wife or your husband. And there are good days, so it's not totally vicious. Some cases it is. In my case, I think both ways. I still believe and love certain people that were in their life, their families. I have so many friends of mine that have passed away, and their families get in touch with me. One of my really, really good friends, Joe Vitale, I did a video about him. Me and him were shot one day going on an armed robbery. I'm not going to get into the whole story. I did a video about it. His son texts me once in a while. It's such a beautiful thing. I have Joe Peruta's daughter who gets in touch with me on occasion, and it's a beautiful thing to have those beautiful memories come back to me.
Thank you, Sammy. We're going to stay on the mushy trail here. Jamie, in your super chat, Sammy, this is the first time I have seen you live. You're incredible, and I truly look up to you. You inspire me enormously. Massive love from Ireland. Jamie.
Again, I appreciate that so much. And all these good questions and beautiful messages, you're going to make me tear up a little bit. I'm going to choke up. Give me some, like I get somebody who calls me a jerk off or something. That's why I could get mad. But I mean, all you guys and people who are sending me these messages, I really, really appreciate it. And you have no idea. I mean, right now I feel so good about, the people that I have following me. I hope I do the right thing, and I want to do the right thing as far as putting out content and making you enjoy what we're working on coming out in March. A lot of good stuff.
Thank you, Sammy. Bart G is donating in your super chat. Thank you, Bart G. Shout out.
Bart G?
Mm-hmm. Bart G.
Bart G, here's the shout out. Good guy. Where'd you get that name, bro? I thought he said Parmesan G or something, whatever it sounded like. But Bart G, do good, stay strong always. Be my man.
We have Cement Shoes in your super chat. Hi, Sammy. Did you ever meet or have anything to do with Whitey Bulger?
I hate to talk like this, but I had nothing to do with him. He was a fucking low-life, scummy fucking guy. Not only did he cooperate the whole time against Italians, that was his deal, and he was able to get away with murder. He hooked up with a woman. He wound up raping her daughter. I mean, this guy did every fucked up thing on the planet. And I only wish I would have hooked up with him. And if I would have known what he was, he would have been on the list.
Number 20?
Number 20, maybe number 4.
Makes sense. JB Weld in the super chat. Great. Thank you so much. Very generous donation. JB is asking, love the stories about Tato. Are there any other guys who you looked up to who were as wise as Tato? Any specific stories come to mind? And salute.
There are so many guys I looked up to and that were very wise. Tato was very, very special to me. He became like a father to me. So he was very, very special to me. His advice was always good, kind and, important. But there was a lot of guys who gave me good advice. There was a guy on Bath Avenue. When I was a kid, he was much older than me, Paulie Zach. There was just an army of them. Frankie the Chico was like my big brother. He was 14 years older than me. It seemed like every time I had a problem and I turned around, I bumped into them and turned around and I bumped into him. He was always there to help or give me great advice. There were so many great people. I mean, my entire crew. But I could go on and on and on. Even when I left the Colombo family, there was guys in there that I looked up to when I was gone. I stayed close with. And so.
Nice. Thank you, Sammy. Corrupted in your super chat. Love you, Sammy. Were you ever tested in prison? Why or how did they let you reduce your classification levels in prison from Supermax down to level 4, 3, and so on? And how did prison go for you once you went back in for the ecstasy case?
When I went in for the ecstasy case, I went in with baggage. Baggage meaning I cooperated. They call you a rat. It's a tough way to do time. I had some incidents with some people here and there, but I got along pretty well. People knew, I'm not a really big physical guy. I could fucking fight, or I was able to, but they do know that I would fucking cut their fucking throat if I had a problem. So I don't think too many people fuck with me. I'm courteous. I won't walk around thinking my shit don't stink. That goes a long way in prison. As far as my levels never went down. I went in and I went into regular state prison at that time, and then I was shipped to the ADX Supermax. So if anything, my level went up. And I was in the first 6.5 years. By the time I left the Supermax, I think I was in my 7th year of lockdowns, and I was shipped back into a wet sec unit. So I never went down to a level 4 or 3 or 2. I never got there. But I mean, a witness unit is a soft prison, even though there's a lot of tough guys in there too. These are guys who cooperated, but that doesn't mean that they didn't have balls or whatever. So I did the rest of that's how I got out of prison almost 18 years later. So I never went down. I went from state prison, because that's how it started. When I went to the feds, I went right into the Supermax. 7 years later, I went into a witness unit. I never got lower than that.
Nice. Thank you, Sammy. We have Glenn Polarstock in your super chat. Sammy the Bull, Long Island, New York here. Love that you and Michael Francis are on speaking terms, and the sit down you both did was excellent.
That was the first sit down. I know you're talking about that with Patrick McDavid. If you think that was good, wait till the next one. I do get along with him. My daughter did an interview with him, and he's very respectful to my daughter, my son. He really likes my son. I love his family. He's got a good family, and we put any differences we had behind us, and that goes in Austria. That's the way it's supposed to be. And I just did another thing that's going to be on the table in the back. I just talked about it, and it's still in editing. It'll come out in March. I believe it's almost a 2-hour interview. Nobody interviewing us, just me and him. And I think you're going to love this. We talk about a lot of things, about life, about ourselves. I'm not going to talk about it too much because it'll come out in March and you'll be looking forward to seeing it.
It's great. It's exciting. Joey Frakes in your super chat. Sounds like February and March are going to be great.
Yeah, I believe they are. I'm working on a lot of things. I'm even working on doing shorts, films that movies that we're going to make up, we're going to do it ourselves, and we're going to put it out. We did one once. It wasn't, it was done well, but there was a lot of screw-ups. This time around, I got a lot of experience now, and I got more talented people around me, and we're going to do some heavy stuff. Is a lot of, work being done on the Johnny Keys story. That's a movie that's going to come out. I'm working on that as well. So there's going to be a lot of things in this coming year.
Awesome. Jake Chapman in your super chat. Much love from Idaho. Come hang out here sometime. Idaho, Sammy. You want to go to Idaho?
Idaho. I got a friend of mine went to Idaho. He was a captain in the Banano family. I don't want to say his name because he went out. He lives out there, and I heard that it's beautiful out there. It's a little cold, but it's beautiful, and yeah, I would like to visit Idaho. It sounds like a great place. And is the potato over there too?
That's right.
Idaho potatoes.
Yep.
Yeah. But I got a friend of mine out there, and he told me, he said, Sammy, I didn't want to come here. They put him out there, and he loves it there now. He says it's beautiful. The weather, the country is beautiful. I wouldn't mind going there. I know some people. I'm working on a business who are in Montana, and he showed me some family photos and things that they're beautiful, beautiful place too. So I love places like that.
God's country.
God's country. It is
Amen.
God's country.
Aussie Wolfhound in your super chat. Will you do an interview with Sean Atwood? He talks a lot about you, about his time here in Arizona.
Yeah. I just did excuse me, a documentary, and he's in the documentary. I was in it, my daughter was in it, my son is in it, this guy, Sean Atwood, was in it. They asked me if I would sit down with him and talk, and I agreed to do it. I didn't have a problem doing it. He seems like a decent guy. At first we had a little bit of, he said he's met with me and did things, and I don't recall ever meeting with him. And now he backed up. He said he never met with me. He might have met with my son. So at least he's telling the truth. So anybody who tells the truth, I wouldn't mind sitting down with him. He was in the ecstasy business. I think he was a heavyweight in the business. But I never really bunked into him when they were doing that.
Awesome. Thank you, Sammy. Jeff Tilley is asking, Sammy, did your family really have a house in Marlboro, New York in the 70s?
In Marlboro, New York? No. We were in Cream Ridge, New Jersey. I had a farm not too far from Marlboro, I guess. So maybe they're confusing it with that. I got a lot of friends out there. No, but we never had a house there. Me personally, I don't know, or maybe another family member somewhere. I don't know about that. So, but I do have some family out in Jersey. I think my daughter's out in Jersey right now. So, and she opened up a place. Matter of fact, she opened up a beauty salon in Jersey. I think it's right near Marlboro, Bella Vita or something like that. Look it up. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. She went partners in with somebody not too long ago. It's a matter of months. So I don't know exactly where it is, but I think it was there. I saw pictures of it. The place is drop dead gorgeous.
Nice. That's awesome. She's a hustler like her dad.
She is. My daughter is a hustler. She's smart. She's aggressive. She's a good person. When she was a kid, 18 years old, I think she was, I opened her up a florist. Now, when I opened her up the florist, I gave her the keys. I said, here, this is yours. And a partner. I knew a guy who was a florist, and I made them go partners. Here's the keys. It's your business. Open it up and work. You don't work, you'll lose it. I'm not going to help you. And she took that to heart. And she tells me now, this is years later, she's not 18 anymore. And she said that's the best thing you could have ever did for me.
That's awesome. What a great opportunity.
Yeah.
She just hit the ground running with it?
She hit the ground running. She knew I wasn't joking, and she worked her ass off. She opened up the place every day. There's a bunch of stories there. She really learned the business, and now she followed up. In other words, she knows when you open a business, when you do something, you got to work. You got to get off your ass, get up, and go to work. So that's your responsibility. You don't take care of your business, you're not going to make it.
Hashtag Kim K.
Kim K.
She got dragged for telling everybody, the women, get up and work, get off your ass and go to work.
Yes.
Thank you, Sammy. We're getting a lot of comments in here. Everybody's asking for a Gaspipe story.
Gaspipe. I'll show you how fucking nuts Gaspipe was. I got a quick little story. When he cooperated, he cooperated, and he was in a witness unit. And he had an argument with this guy, Big Sally, Fat Sally, Big Sally. He was a captain in the Colombo family, really big guy. So I think physically he was no match. But he got a thing, pipe or something, gas pipe, and he waited for Sally to walk down the hall. And in a witness unit, which is crazy, he's walking down the hall, gas pipe jumped out and started beating him on the face and head with the pipe. This is how gas pipe is as small as me. He's smaller than me, actually. And then he got in trouble. He got thrown out of that unit. He got in trouble. I mean, that's crazy. Like I said, these witness units, people are going to get out of prison, and most of them are short time. So it's soft. In other words, what I mean by soft, nobody wants to fight. Nobody wants to do shit like that. It happens, just like every place else. But, like a murder isn't going to happen in places like that because you'll never get out. And whether they cooperated or whatever they're doing in that unit, they want to get out. And this maniac is beating the guy up with a fucking pipe in a unit. He was a sick fuck. But there's a lot of stories, And someday I'll be talking about a lot more because I was actually friendly with him. He hated John Gotti. John Gotti couldn't get anything done with him. He was the underboss. And John Gotti would get so frustrated. Go talk to your fucking friend, Gaspipe, and straighten this beef out. I said, John, you sent the message to the boss. He said, both of them won't talk to me. He says, go straighten this fucking thing out. I would have to go to him and tell him, Gaspipe, come on. And he didn't want to do it. And I said, come on, you're an underboss. I'm an underboss. Let's straighten this fucking bullshit out. So, and he would listen. So I actually got along with him. I grew up in the same neighborhood as him. But he was a sicko.
Wow. Thank you, Sammy. Great question. Zaros in the super chat. Sammy, any idea what happened to Featherstone and the Westies?
When Bosco left, he went on the lam, took off. And I think that the Westies more or less broke up. Featherstone was another guy who cooperated on Jimmy Coonan's was the boss at that time. They were good friends. And Featherstone flipped and testified against him. I don't know the reasons why. Featherstone took off and went in the program or wherever he went. I have no idea. Jimmy Coons went to prison. I'm not sure if he's dead or still alive, but he went away. And when he went away, Bosco took it over. And the funny thing, he became the boss. He wasn't even Irish. He was Yugoslavian, I think, or Yugoslavian, I think, or Czechoslovakian, one of the two. And he became the boss. So I don't know what happened to Featherstone.
Nice. Thank you. Patrick in the super chat. Sammy, is it true that no stranger dared to park at the Ravenite Social Club or nearby? And what would have happened if one had?
To park their car?
Mm-hmm.
No, that's not true. I think there was cars parked all over the place, and nobody did anything. I don't think you would do anything. There were spots. We didn't live there. It's a club, so you can't. People don't even know you. They're parking cars. It's Manhattan. There's big buildings. They don't know. They see parking is very hard in New York. So if they see an empty parking space, they're gonna park. They don't know they're doing anything wrong. I don't think anything would have happened. I don't think we ever told people don't park there. That's ridiculous.
It's not like the Bronx Tale scene?
No.
That's just Hollywood?
That's just Hollywood.
Myth busting with Sammy.
Yeah.
We have Chicago Race Engines in your super chat. Did you know Anthony Carano or Tony Pizza?
Yes, not very well. Yeah, I knew both of them, but we didn't socialize. We were in different, places.
Nice. Okay. Corrupted again in your super chat. I know the boss is the boss, but weren't you and the other heads ever super concerned that Gotti's style went against everything the Mafia stood for? Too flashy, etc. He was destined to go down, and how could they allow him to rule?
Well, the Genovese people had a contract down on him. There was a crew in Jersey that had the contract. I'm friendly with people in the Colombo family. I understand that people in the Colombo family had a contract on him. They wanted to hit him too. I just had too many guys around him. But everybody was upset. He thought that Joe Messina was his best friend. When Joe Messina got pinched, Joe Messina's tapes, he's talking to somebody, and he says, this fucking idiot is destroying the whole Mafia. So, but he said that quietly behind his back, and he made like he was real close friends with him. But everybody felt that he was doing the wrong thing. The people who didn't understand Cosa Nostra thought he was a hero. He's walking around all dressed up. And I get it. They don't know the mob. It's like they're seeing the Godfather in a movie. But this wasn't a movie. This was the real life. He fucked up everything. They used his tapes and Angelo's tapes in almost every fucking case. They got caught on tape all over the place. Me, him, and Frankie LaCasio and Tommy Gambino got arrested on their tapes. They used the tapes in the commission case. I mean, they bugged bosses' cars with the strength of those tapes. So he really did. I don't, you can't call him a rat, but he did a lot of damage, more damage than 5 guys who were at it put together.
Wow. Thank you, Sammy. Shout out to KP for a super chat donation. Thanks, KP.
Hey, thank you so much.
Sammy, you have 1,100 people live watching you now. What do they need to do, Sam?
1,100 people?
Yeah. Shouldn't they like and subscribe? Come on, guys.
I'm scared now. You scared the shit out of me. I thought there was a couple of people I was talking to. 1,100?
1,100.
Oh, my God. What was the question again?
What do they need to do? Like, subscribe.
Subscribe. Subscribing is important. It's important for Hollywood. When they see the numbers, it gives you some strength, and they're looking to talk with you. And so subscribing is the most important thing. If you like it, press like. If you don't like it, I'm never going to stop anybody. If you didn't like it, press dislike. I mean, I wouldn't be happy about it, but do what you got to do. But the subscribing is important because, when you have a lot of subscribers and you're talking to people in Hollywood, they're all big shots, bro. But now with those numbers, you could push back. And I'm a bitch. I fucking going to push back anyway. So the numbers help.
That's right. Let's see. The Ruben Kincaid is asking, What's with the bleeping out of the F bomb? Sammy, where do you tell them to go if they want to hear F'ity FFF? Patreon?
You got two places to go. On Patreon, I could say what I want, and on my channel, SammyTheBull.com, and my new website. That's why I'm doing all of this. I could talk natural, but a lot of these companies, YouTube, what they're doing is when I curse, they take away money. So when I'm talking on YouTube and I'm preparing it, it costs me money to do that. And now they're not giving me money. So, because they're saying that the way I talk. So, it's social media today is like a weird thing. If you say certain things, they shut you down. Now, if you say certain things, you're not going to get paid. You don't get paid a lot on YouTube. You're going to hear stories, they make millions of dollars. That's bullshit. I don't know who makes that kind of money. You make something enough to have people around and help you and pay them and do certain things. But then now they're cutting back. So I'm on Patreon, on my website, my new website. That's where I could go freely and talk. But if I can't curse, I can't talk. It's just natural. I don't do it to be disrespectful to anybody. It's just part of my language. I lived an extremely rough life, and it's part of my vocabulary. I never do it towards people usually. So now what they do, if you're hearing those beeps and bleeps, I heard about it. They're taking the curse word out, and then if I say, "Hey, go and boop," you know what I said. Go and fuck yourself. So, and then you'll hear, instead of hearing fuck, you'll hear beep. They bleep me out, and they cut me on as far as funds, and they could do whatever they want. I mean, that's their game. So
smart. Cement Shoes in your super chat donation. Did you ever have anything to do with Richard the Iceman Kuklinski?
Oh boy, this mutt. I got arrested with him, and it was a cold case, and he testified that I killed a cop, and when I got busted, it was 23 years prior to that, he said. Now, it's an unbelievable story, and I can't tell it because I'm already in contract. It made the whole thing, it's a long story, and it may come out as a movie, and I'm talking to people about it, but it's an unbelievable story. One way or another, you're going to hear that story. I can't talk about it now, but I was indicted with him. When I got indicted in Arizona, I was indicted for the ecstasy case in 2000. In 2001, I was indicted by the feds, a mirror case, same case. In 2002, I got pimped with this pimp, Richard Kuklinski. I shouldn't even call him a pimp. He's below that. He's way below that. So that story is going to come out one way or another, but not right now.
Nice. Thank you, Sammy. Dave Segal in the super chat donations. Who has the best pasta in NYC, and what's your favorite pasta dish?
Who's got the best pasta?
In New York.
My mother, but she passed away a long time ago, so you're not going to get that. But pasta, there's so many good Italian restaurants in New York. There's so many Pontevecchios. I went to so many of them, when I went up when I was broke, I used to go to Bath Avenue. I even forgot the name of the restaurant. I would eat there, neighborhood joints, And when I went up in rank, I didn't get too fancy. I went with John on occasion, but most of the times I stood in the neighborhood in the same places that I ate, people who took care of me. I didn't get too fancy. I went back to those places, but there were so many of them. I went to Tommaso's and Pontevecchio's. I believe Tommaso's is still open, still there. I'm not sure. So I just looked at a video that somebody did on tallies, and some woman goes to Tally's. I saw this video, and she goes into Tally's, and she's talking about Tally's and where we were. There was bullet holes in the walls. I don't know if there was bullet holes in the walls. She did say that there was 2 murders in there. There was. Michael DeBat was murdered in there, and Sammy was murdered in there. That's true. And then she said there's ghosts and all kinds of weird shit. It was amusing. I'm gonna put it out. This girl's gonna say she's gonna get lucky. She got 3 hits. She's gonna wind up getting 200,000 hits. So I'm gonna put the video out when I talk about it. So there's a lot of great Italian restaurants there. Even here, I'm finding really good Italian restaurants, and I have mixed. I have pasta with penne with shrimp and what's the other thing? Shrimp and what? Scallops. Shrimp and scallops. I like that dish. There's so many of them I like. As long as the sauce is good, I'm not. I can go different ways, but I love the sauce. And once you hook me with the sauce, pasta is the same. I have it al dente a little bit. It's a little more chewable, so I like it that way. But pasta is pasta. But some pasta is better.
Do you remember your mom's favorite dish she used to make?
My mom, we were poor. We ate what they call peasant dishes, and that's pasta with vegetables or beans or whatever. We had that. My mother cooked everything. You didn't have steak that often because they were broke, and fish. You had fish, but she made everything. She was really, really a good cook. My son is a great cook. I mean, he had a restaurant, Uncle Sal's, out here in Arizona. He's a very, very good cook. And some of the recipes he got from my mother, and my father-in-law is actually a very good cook. So between my father-in-law and my mother, he wound up taking a whole bunch of recipes, and he became a good cook.
That's amazing. Thank you, Sammy. Jack Jennings in your super chat. Sammy, do you have any plans to come to the UK? And did you have anything to do with the Mafia cops? I'm going to butcher this name, Carapacapa and Eppolito.
It's funny. I'm talking about that today. It came up today, and I'm meeting with people. They were going to make a movie about them mob cops, and they didn't get it sold, and they're talking to me about it now. And I'm involved in a way that I know a lot about it. One of those cops hit on me a while ago, wanted to do a murder, and I never even talked to him about it. But I knew his uncle was a captain in the family, Lou Eppolito. His uncle was a captain in the family. I knew stuff that happened between Paul and him, and the same thing with John Gotti and him. So I really am. In a way, I'm involved in it. I'm not involved in their murders. They killed 8 people. Those cops. Most of them were done for Gaspipe. Gaspipe hired them, giving them, I believe, $4,000 or $5,000 a month to be hit guys for him. And then they started expanding. I know they killed Eddie Lino, who was a captain in our family for Gaspipe. And I know a lot about it. That's another story that I'm talking to them, and I might participate and work together with them to get that movie out. And I'm meeting with one of the guys, Mike Vecchione, and he was a cop. He was a prosecutor, real heavyweight. I'm talking about meeting with him, going to talk with him about things. They wrote the book Mob Cops. Tommy Day, who's a cop and a good friend of mine, is a good guy. And this guy, Michael Vecchione. And this guy Vecchione wrote another 3 books now. And I'm talking to him. I'd like to see all of the books that he's writing. These were good guys, and they were smart guys. You know, they know their whole side of it because they were cops. They were heavyweight cops, not just regular cops. And I know a whole other side of it. So we're actually getting together and talking. Now I'll see if we could do something together. I don't know. And this interview I'm going to do with Mike Vecchione, I'm going to do that at Table in the Back. It'll be another big video that I'm going to do more than likely with him. It's in the first stages of talking. So, you know, I may be talking out of my ass a little bit. Premature, I should say.
That's amazing. Holy bleep.
What?
Holy bleepity bleep.
Yeah, you bleeping me out?
Elizabeth Tavano in the super chat donation for you, Sammy. Hi, Sammy. Hearts, 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 hearts. She's sending a ton of hearts to you. She said, I'm from Boston area. Did you know Johnny Marano, a.k.a. the Executioner?
He was with the Philadelphia family. I know of him. I didn't know him again personally, but I had a lot of friends out there. I was involved in their Mafia war when Angelo Bruno was killed. I literally was involved in that. After that, I was involved in another hit that took place in Philadelphia. So I know quite a few of them, but I know of him. I know exactly who he is and where he's coming from. I heard a lot of good things about him, but I really have no affiliation myself with him. I don't recall any real meetings with him. I might have met him one day, but I can't, truthfully, I can't say I did.
Nice. Thank you, Sammy. Corrupted again in your super chat. Sammy, my brother just had his first son. Please say, Jeff, welcome to fatherhood. And then please offer any thoughts on being a father for the first time. He'd appreciate it.
Hey, a father for the first time. Listen, you're going to love it. You're going to love it. And then you're going to want to strangle him when he's about 18 years old. You're going to want to strangle him. But right now, enjoy him. I mean, kids are great. That's a great thing. I mean, you know, in your bad mood, they're just playing. They're like live toys. I mean, they're beautiful. They're good. Little boys, little girls. I had one of each. And I try to exchange them later on in life, but I couldn't. There's no exchange. Once you have them, you own them for life. So you're stuck with them. There's no return. So enjoy the kid and enjoy the, you know, and it sounds great. You got to work hard, stay straight, stay out of trouble. Well, don't go away and leave this kid like I did. I went away 22 years of my life. I missed growing my kids up and people that I should have loved. I spent it in a fucking shithole in prisons. So stay straight, work hard, and if you're part of my team, if you ever need help, I mean, not money help, but if you need help, advice, or something, don't be shy. Give me a call. Stay strong, bro.
That was beautiful, Sammy. Thank you. Stephen Diamond, and this is not the only comment I've seen like this. There's a few coming in. Sammy, have you ever thought about running for president?
Yeah, I'm going to answer honestly. I mean, if Joe Biden could be the president of the United States, this motherfucker don't even know what planet he's on. I mean, if he could be the president, I could be the president. And to be honest with you, I think that I would make a much better president than him. You know, in Joe Bonanno's book, at the end of the book, I've said this before, he wrote something that stayed with me for a very, till today. He said, the country doesn't need a president. The country needs a father of the country. That he looks at the country, no matter what nationality, what race, whether you're a man or a woman, whether you're gay or straight, no matter what you are, you're his family. And if a president could think like that, this country would be on fucking Mars. It would be fucking unbelievable. And if I was the president, that's what would be my thinking. I know, when you make moves, that are good for a lot of people, but it hurts other people. But people, I go one more thing, is what John Kennedy said when he was the president. Don't ask what your country could do for you. Ask what you could do for your country. Those words, combined with the president should be a father of the country, if those two things could be combined in me as president, then I think I would make a great fucking president. Not the smartest guy in the world, but it's a no-brainer. I would just hire smart people and bring them around me, just like I'm doing now. I'm not a tech guy, not that smart and educated, but I bring smart people. Anna and a whole bunch of other people. And now all of a sudden I'm brilliant because now I got another woman. I'm not going to even tell you her name yet. I brought her in, another one who's smart. I read her resume. I had to have Anna explain what it meant. It's so fucking sophisticated. But she's great, and we're going forward. She did a little acting, and so. And
we do have men that work for Sammy, too. It's not an all estrogen
I don't talk
filled.
about the men. Fuck them. I don't talk about them. No, we have good men. I talk about the women, it's, the men are doing a great job, but I hang out with the women, so I talk about them more than the guys.
Touché.
But really, I got a lot of guys. I got my whole team. They know that. I don't have to talk about them. My whole team is a good team, great team, loyal, and they know what they're doing. They make me look good.
It's easy to do, Sammy. We love you. You're a good guy.
Thank
You're a funny guy, too.
Funny? How am I funny? What I am fucking amuse you? How am I funny? Tell me how I'm funny.
All day, every day. I love this. Sammy, another super chat from Kevin. Sammy, when The Sopranos show came out, what was the opinion among other made men?
I don't know. I can't talk for all the made men, but I talk for myself. I loved it. I thought it was very, very well done. It was, it's a movie. It was based on the family that was in Jersey, the Cavalcanti family, and I thought it was very, very well done, and I enjoyed watching it. Most of it is not true, but I enjoyed watching it. They did a great, great job. I knew a lot of people actually who acted in it and were part of the whole thing. It was great.
That's awesome. What about your life story, Sammy? You going to do something like The Sopranos, but even more truthful, more honest, more real things that happen?
Well, you know that, Anna. What I'm doing, I'm making arrangements. I'm talking to people already who've bought the rights to do my life story, and it's going to be very, very similar to Sopranos, but more realistic. The truth, what involves me, and I hope it has as much success as the Sopranos had. But I'm going to put it out, and I'm going to make sure that it, Hollywood is Hollywood. They always jump in and do something, but I'm going to try and make it as straight as possible with, facts. And they could add Hollywood. I understand. So we're working on that.
Legendary.
Yeah.
Legendary. Sammy, we have about 3 minutes left in your live. Anything you want to say to your viewers?
Well, listen, guys, I really enjoy this. This is, to me, I do other things, and it's tense, and, this is more relaxing to me. I enjoy it. I only wish that I could sit in an audience or see you and look at you and relate to you and hear your questions personally. It would be, but this is beautiful. This is so relaxing to me. Now, I would have drank this whole cup of coffee. I think I touched it once. So I'm relaxed. I feel good about it. The questions, I love you guys. And whoever you are, sweetheart, with the 4 hearts she gave me?
There was like 8 hearts.
8 hearts? Give me your number.
DM Sammy, please.
But I enjoy it. I'm having fun with it. This is a highlight. I'm looking forward to every Monday doing this, and I try to answer the questions as honestly and openly as I can, and going on Patreon and on my, you know, website that's going to open in March. I'm going to be much more, not truthful, but I'm going to be speaking from my heart, not worried about who's going to shut me down or who's going to cut this or beat me or do something like that. And that's where I'm headed, because I want to be able to talk natural. There's a lot of things I don't like that are going on in the country, the fentanyl, and so many other things. And I'm going to explode on this shit. You're going to hear me on those programs, that the real me talking. It's the real me now, but you're handcuffed a little bit. But when I get on these programs and I'm cool, well, I'm going to tell it like it is. And a lot of them ain't going to like it, but I don't care whether they like it or I'm not in business to make them like it. I want to make you like it. I want to be real, and that's my motive. I don't give a fuck what they like. Beep. Okay.
Bleepity bleep bleep bleep.
All right, guys. I'm getting the signal that it's time. Adios, motherfuckers.